Accept. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're having a very special conversation with a really special, wonderful guest. I met a new friend, and so we got to
Hey.
talking, and I was like, you know what? We got to record this because she's amazing and you guys need to know her. So I want to introduce you to Staci Hazeur, and she is with Staying Power Marketing. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but as female entrepreneurs, we get bombarded with a lot of marketing advice. And I, for one, have been burned. I got a little PTSD about some of the stuff I've been told to do in the past and like really wholeheartedly try to do. So I am really excited to have Staci come in and talk and just kind of hear about what she does and how she does it. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I was so honored to do this and to have this platform to talk about something that I'm passionate about. And especially it was a pleasure meeting you. Uh Fran and I had just recently met each other, and I'm so excited to find out a little bit more about you and your business as well. But
Mhm.
marketing is a beast. It's a beast.
Mhm.
And it is not something that you can like learn overnight. It doesn't come like somebody either has the marketing thing or they don't. It's a combination of having the talent and having the knowledge. So it's not an easy thing to take on.
Hmm. You know what? That's actually encouraging. It's funny that you said it like that
Hmm.
because I think a lot of us feel like so many entrepreneurs were created during the pandemic, right? Or shortly
Yes.
before, shortly after, but around that time. And I've talked to
Yes.
so many people who feel like, okay, you either have it or you don't, and they don't have it, and they feel like it's, all hope is lost. But I love that you're saying that, it's more of something that it's complicated. It's not something you're just born like springing from the womb and you're good at. Some people are because they have that kind of personality, but there's like a lot to learn and grow into.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And let me, if you allow me, let me back up a moment. You asked me to introduce myself. I never
Yes.
said. Again, I'm happy to be here. My name is Staci Hazeur. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan. I am now reside in Fairhope, Alabama, which
Mhm.
is a suburb right outside of Mobile, Alabama. It's right on the Gulf of Mexico, has nice sandy white beaches,
Mm.
blue emerald water. If you ever get an opportunity to come to this area, I'm very close to like Orange Beach, Alabama, Gulf Shores, Alabama, if you've heard of that. Not too far from Destin, Florida. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful area. Beautiful area. A lot of retirees here and quite a bit of tourists come to this area. So I feel
Mhm.
very blessed to be in this area, be able to raise my children here.
Mhm.
This is it's fantastic. And I
Mhm.
don't miss the
Okay.
snow.
Yeah. Yes, but probably a
And
big difference.
my background started out, first of all, always as a little kid, I always knew that I wanted to be in business.
Mm.
Okay. I didn't know as a kid what type of business. I didn't have parents who were like, here's the silver spoon, we have a business, we're going to pass this wealth on down to you. I didn't have those parents. But what
Mhm.
I did is I had parents who believed in education. I
Mhm.
had parents who believed in, like most parents, that they want their kids to have a better life and to have things be better for them, for the
Mhm.
next generation. So I had a lot of love around me. Both my mom and dad grew up in a two-parent household, and they always preached things like that. And so I decided to, in high school, I still didn't know really what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a judge. That was my first like thing that I wanted to do as a little girl. I just wanted to be in
Mhm.
command and control and tell people what to do.
Mhm.
Then I found out I needed to go to law school. And
Mhm.
I was like, I don't think I'll make a good lawyer because lawyers like to lie. Did
Oh.
I say that? But they're good at it. They're
Uh-huh.
good at smudging, so to speak, the truth
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
and making it seem very authentic. And that just didn't fit my personality.
Mm,
So in high school, I took on a business administrative sort of atmosphere, took classes like that. And that's when I started to learn more about marketing and sales and running businesses and entrepreneurship. And I thought, wow, okay, it felt like me. Okay.
mhm,
So when I went to college, I still didn't really know what to major in.
mhm,
So I decided to go to a undergrad that specialized in, again, business.
mhm,
So I went to, I'm a alumni of Northwood University, which is a small private school in mid Michigan, right
mhm,
in the smack dead middle of Michigan.
mhm,
Lovely school, lovely facility. And decided to take on a major of marketing. So
mhm,
I got my associates in advertising. I
mhm,
always kind of had a niche for the creative space. Like I was a good artist growing up. I used to like to draw. I
mhm,
wasn't the best drawer, but I enjoyed doing it.
mhm,
I was really good into color. I loved color, as you can see from my background. I like color.
mhm,
And I knew I wanted to be somewhere in the creative space. Okay.
mhm,
So being in advertising allowed me to still do the best of both worlds, allowed me to have that creative juices, and then allowed me to have that business hat as well.
mhm,
So got my associates in that, and and associates is just an associates, but there's still benefits and things that you learn. You learn about the things that a lot of people that I see right now struggling with, and it's the basics of marketing, which is like consistency and messaging and brand awareness and color and spacing and how to read a room, and when I say read a room, literally like a painting, how you read a painting. Like
mhm,
literally I'm looking at your background as to where
mhm.
you are. Your setup is beautiful. You have the white
Thank you.
background. I'm reading this. You have the
Mm,
white background. You My eye
mhm,
starts with your book that says the budget diary, and
mhm,
it moves around a circle. I go above your head. I read the money never sleeps. Then I hit the heart. The heart is bright. So it hits my eye that way. And
mhm,
then just a touch of that roses
mhm,
pulls my eye back to the middle,
mhm.
which is you with that beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful lipstick you have on. So
Thank you.
literally the way you have this set up is perfect. You would think that you've had a degree or some training in that because your
Mhm.
setup is great. Some people
Awesome.
try to overdo it, but
Mhm,
I mean, sometimes you need white space. White space
mhm,
is a good thing. So
mhm.
that was one of the things I had to learn too early on, is about white space and things like that. So anyway, I can sit here and talk about this all day.
Yeah. I love
Associate's
it.
degree in advertising,
Mhm,
bachelor's degree in marketing management, master's degree in technology management, because I started, as you know, when you're doing all this marketing stuff, you need to know technology.
yeah.
Technology plays a big role in marketing. So
Mhm,
then went on to work for a couple of large corporations. I've worked for Equifax. I've worked for a couple of um, pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical marketing companies where I had the opportunity to work with pharmaceutical companies.
mhm,
I've worked in the financial sector. I've worked in the insurance sector. I've worked in nonprofit. I've
mhm,
worked in the automotive industry, obviously being from Detroit.
mhm,
Everything in Detroit is centered around automotive. So I've had my feet kind of wet in everything and gotten a
mhm,
little bit of, my footprint everywhere. And
mhm,
even my career started out in direct mail
mhm,
and just kind of morphed through every aspect of marketing. So there's so many pieces to it, so
mhm.
many pieces. But I'll shut
Wow.
up so you can talk and ask questions.
No, no, that's amazing. You've had a lot of experience. Um,
Hmm.
just fascinating. I was taking notes because so many of the things that you said um really kind of hit home because
Hmm.
I coach spenders, and a lot of people I coach are entrepreneurs. That's my favorite to coach are entrepreneurs. And a lot of times they start a business to make extra money,
Hmm.
and when it comes to the marketing piece and like you said, the advertising, I feel like just listening to you, I feel like part of it is that they don't have enough information or experience. And because of what they see and hear, and the internet gurus, it's intimidating, but it's not
Yes,
intimidating because it is impossible. It's intimidating because maybe they don't have someone who is helping or explaining it the way that makes it easier. Um,
absolutely.
so what
I
I love,
believe I believe that every person, no matter what you're doing in life, whatever your calling is, you need a mentor.
mm-hmm.
You need
Yeah.
somebody who has perfected
Mm-hmm.
what you're trying to do, regardless of if it's in the financial,
Mm-hmm.
working on personal finances and wealth, anything like that. Whatever your calling may be, find somebody in your life or that you don't know
Mm-hmm.
and stalk them.
Mm-hmm.
Stalk
Yeah.
them, find out everything they're doing, find out their ins and outs, follow them online and figure out a way to get in touch with them, get into their world, ask them questions,
Mm-hmm.
and then become them and
Mm-hmm.
do it better than what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how you become great.
Yeah. That's such good advice. I love that so much. One of the things that you said when you talked about having the AA and advertising is that you married your interest of being creative with business. And so often with females, especially entrepreneurs, are creative. And then they have, so the thing that they do is creative, and then their business is their business, but they don't realize that marketing and advertising is the marriage of your creativity with your business. I feel like that would take some of the pressure off because part of it is like you're doing these things, but you're not thinking about them as something that can be combined. There's like joy over here and joy over here, but then when you think about marketing and advertising, it just feels stressful. It's
Mhm.
like, what if that combination could be the overlap of these two things that you actually love?
I agree with that. And I think that you need to do something that you're passionate about.
Hmm.
And when I say passionate, I'm passionate about marketing. And this is how I realized and I knew I was passionate about marketing. When you don't tell people this, but if you're willing to do something for free
Hmm.
and you still enjoy doing it,
Yeah.
you're passionate about it. And
Yeah.
nobody should do anything that they're not passionate about. Like,
Right.
why waste your time? Time is money. Time just flies by.
Mm.
Why waste your time doing something that you don't enjoy doing? You
Right.
know, I'm sure we all have found ourselves working in an organization or for a company, and you just knew
Hmm.
right off the bat, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I don't belong here, or I can't see myself here, in a year from
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
in your gut, that
Mhm.
feeling. So just,
Yeah.
people should always do something they're passionate about. And nobody can help
Mhm.
you make that decision. Um what you like and what you don't like and what
Yeah.
feels good and what doesn't feel good, you
That
know.
is so true, 100%. I remember I once had a position where I could hear, it was almost like I could hear inside my head. My mind was going tick tock, tick tock. And it was like the minutes of your life are wasting away at this job. Like this is not where you need to be. It was incredible. It was almost like that biological clock, but it was like a midlife crisis for my job. It was like, it's time, girl. You got to get out of here. So I
Mhm.
love that because it's so true. I also, what I picked out of your story, I don't know if you've made this connection before, but you said you wanted to be a judge, you didn't want to be a lawyer, and then the thought about it was kind of like the lawyers will take their side of the truth and make it like as authentic as, it's like this is the truth. It's my side of the story and it's the truth. But in marketing, we take, because I know some people go way to the extreme and they're, right on the edge of like not telling the truth about their product or service. But like
Hmm.
in marketing, you're taking the best parts of what you do and your truth and putting it out there and like as the authentic truth. And I think you're still kind of like you were onto something as a child, that like what you're doing is still at the heart similar.
Yeah, good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, in marketing, everything is about perceived
Mm,
value.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
about perception.
Mhm.
So you ever wonder how Starbucks can charge
Girl,
$4, $5, $6 for a cup of coffee?
bland
And
hot water.
it's like, what makes this coffee so much different from another cup of coffee? And how can they, well, we all know that they put crack in Starbucks. Disclaimer. But yeah, it makes you wonder, how can they charge that much for one cup of coffee?
Hmm.
And it's all about the perception.
Yeah.
It's perceived as a higher brand. It's
Yeah.
when probably the store brand, they probably have a store brand somewhere that it's made out of the exact same stuff, same coffee
Yeah.
beans,
Yeah.
made the same way, processed the same way, and
Hmm.
it's maybe a quarter of what that would cost.
Yeah.
It's all about perceived value. So we always have to keep that in mind. And that's what lawyers and marketers are both good
Hmm.
at allowing people to see the perceived value of something.
Hmm.
Your job is to go out and rally the troops,
Hmm.
build something up to the biggest you can build it, almost like
Hmm.
you're putting on a production, and then you deliver it to the door of
Hmm.
your salesperson. Marketing is not selling.
Hmm.
I learned that along the way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had for years was, in a marketing capacity,
Hmm.
and worked in an organization, and thought a sales opportunity came my way. And
Hmm.
people were like, "You're so good at it. You can get in front of people and you can talk and you're great. You should try it."
Hmm.
So I said, "I can sell some stuff." I digress, but I once sold a toilet bowl
Hmm. Okay.
at a yard sale one time.
Uh-huh.
I went to a relative's house, and he was like, "I have that toilet bowl out there and I can't sell it. It's brand new." They had
Uh-huh.
bought it to put in their basement, and they never did finish the basement, so they had this toilet that they were trying to sell.
Uh-huh.
I know that's so far-fetched, but they were like, "How I can't get rid of that toilet." Girl, I went out there. It took me 5 minutes. I sold the toilet. And
Really?
they were like, "Oh
Wow.
my God."
Uh,
I don't know what I said. I don't to this day remember what I said to the people, but the toilet was
right?
sold. And
Yeah.
they got top dollar for it. They got top dollar for it.
Nice.
Anyhow, I digress.
You were saying that somebody said you would be great for the sales job.
Yes, thank you
Hmm.
for steering me back in the right direction.
Okay, that's what I'm here
Um,
for.
they thought I'd be good at it, and I thought I'd probably be good at it too. So I'm gonna try it. And I went and tried it, and I was good at it. Matter of fact, I was great at it, but I wasn't passionate about it.
Look at that. Okay.
It didn't do anything for me. It didn't
Oh,
get my juices going. It didn't get me
yeah.
excited. It didn't have me like butterflies in my stomach. It was just like
Mm.
I didn't enjoy doing it at all. I
Mm.
did not enjoy doing it at all. So while a lot of people confuse sales and marketing, they're two
Mm.
totally different beasts.
Yeah.
However, they're married together.
Yeah.
In any organization, you cannot have good sales,
Uh-huh.
without good marketing. And
Yeah.
you cannot have good marketing without the aid and the support and help of a salesperson. You
Mm-hmm.
have to have both, and they have to be at the same level. And
Mm-hmm.
you may not know this, but in most corporations, there's always this constant fight between sales and marketing. Like if you
Really?
get in an organization and
Mhm.
your sales and marketing are married like they're supposed to be,
Mhm.
whoever is leading that ship is doing a great job. They're
Mm.
doing a great job because it's a
Mhm.
hard thing. Salespeople are very territorial. They're about their
Mhm.
money.
Mhm.
Um, Marketing people aren't getting me enough leads, and
Mhm.
marketing people are like, I'm busting my butt. I'm doing all this stuff that you don't see in the
Mhm.
background,
Right.
and I'm delivering leads. Are you following up on them? Are
Mhm.
you taking them serious? Are you opening the
Yeah.
door when I put them there to the door for you to open the door? Are
Mhm.
you opening it? Are you following up? Are you asking the right questions?
Mhm.
So there's a marriage there. And entrepreneurs, small business owners,
Mhm.
unfortunately, a lot of times do not understand and frankly don't believe in marketing. And they
Mhm.
don't believe in marketing because of several things. But one is they've been burned.
Mhm.
They don't understand the consistency
Mhm.
that you need to have in marketing. Marketing is not something you did, it's something you do.
Mhm.
You have to continue to do it. You have to continue to do it consistently on
Mhm.
a regular basis. You can't just say, oh, yeah, we did marketing for a couple weeks or a month or even a year. You
Mhm.
have to continue to do it. It's like a
Mhm.
never ending cycle. And there's
Mm.
no right or wrong way to do things in marketing, which is why I love it because it's more of like an art versus a
Mhm.
science. The art of marketing is like if this doesn't work, you pivot, you switch gears, and you
Mhm.
go and you do something different. You try something new. It's
Mhm.
not like a science like it has to be this equal amount of this. And if you don't put that in, it's not gonna come out right. It's not
Oh,
like that. So to me, that's what makes it very interesting, very fun,
yeah.
and I love it.
I am really enjoying this conversation. I think that this is important because a few different things. So, one is as solopreneurs, we have to wear all the hats. And so I find it very validating for you as someone who's so good at marketing, has so much experience in marketing to say, I
Mhm.
tried sales and I wasn't passionate about it and I didn't
Mhm.
like it. I didn't want to do it anymore.
Mhm.
Because when we're doing all the things, the marketing, the
Mhm.
sales, and the delivery and the admin stuff, and we
Mhm.
find something that doesn't feel good, doesn't we don't we're not passionate about, and we feel like, okay, something's wrong. I'm not going to be a good business person because I can't do all the parts. But what you're saying is you're not supposed to love all the parts, but can you get to the point where you can hire somebody to do, it's like, you can't be a solopreneur for a super
Yes.
long time and keep growing because there's no
Yes.
way that you can be good at all these things. I find that validating. I know a lot of my listeners will find that validating as well because we struggle with this in the
And
beginning.
then check this out. Check this
Mhm.
out. What most marketers or some marketers will not tell you
Mhm.
is marketing spans so many different things. And what I mean by that is it's brand strategy, it's website, it's online, it's offline, it's direct mail, it's email, it's social media,
Mhm.
it's PR, it's so many things
Mhm.
that this is the kicker. There's not one person and not
Mhm.
even one company
Mhm.
that's great at all of the aspects of marketing.
Look at that.
So if somebody's coming to you and saying, "Yeah, we do it all,"
Mhm.
run,
Yeah.
run.
It's like, no.
They are not telling you the truth.
Uh,
There's no way you can be great and good at everything.
yeah.
There's no way.
Wow.
For instance, I'm being very transparent here.
Mhm.
One of my things that I don't even want to touch and I don't mess with is e-commerce.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
not my cup of tea.
Mhm.
I like playing in the arena of business to business. I like
Mhm.
working with businesses who work either with business to consumer or
Mhm.
business to business. I do not like to work direct or
Mhm.
work directly with consumers.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. That's just not my cup of tea. I
Mhm.
don't want even I don't even enjoy building websites
Mhm.
that are 100% e-commerce websites. Now, if you have an e-commerce components to your website, which most websites do have some type of e-commerce component to it,
Mhm.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I at some point want to have some e-commerce components on my website where I sell merch and things like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
That's later on down the line.
Mhm.
But um
Not as the majority,
not
not as
no.
the
Like if you're a
full.
person and
Mhm.
you're in retail and you sell clothes, would not really want to. That's not
Mhm.
my area. I would refer
Yeah.
you on to somebody that I know who
Uh-huh.
specializes in building e-commerce websites, who
Uh-huh.
specializes in branding strategies for e-commerce.
Mhm.
That's what I would do.
I love that. I
So
love your
yeah.
transparency with that because I think that's where, so um in the past when I've been burned
Mm-hmm.
spending money on something and not getting the ROI, it's because I didn't know enough
Mm-hmm.
to know exactly what I was looking for and exactly the right, person to help me get it. And that's what I see with my clients too, because it's like we know we need something. And then we go
Mm-hmm.
for the person who's like, oh, yeah, I can help you with that. Yeah, we can do this, we can do that. And then you get into it and you realize, okay, actually, I didn't need this or I didn't know well enough, the things. So I love your transparency. And I also love the fact that you can be that contact and that connection. And if the person needs something else, people who can help them with that.
Yes.
'Cause that's
Yes.
super helpful.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, the other thing that you said that really stuck out to me, and I feel so much better about this, is the consistency and the never-ending cycle. And it, to me, when you were talking about it, it's like, okay, this is like the laundry, right? Like this is not something that's ever done where you can say, okay, everybody, we're good. It's like, no, we're still wearing clothes. There's going to be laundry in about 10 more minutes, right? We're going to do this again. Because I found with my and when I'm speaking from personal experience, it's also this collection I have in my head, like this collection of entrepreneurs that I've helped along the way and coached them through also the same things. Um, but I've found that we do a chunk of marketing and then we have a little sales cycle and then we're focusing on delivery. Meanwhile, the marketing has fallen through the cracks because it's just one person and now I'm delivering something and now when I'm ready to launch it again, I got to do all the things again. And so it ends up being like we're dropping the balls and it feels like we're trying to juggle all the things and it's impossible to do all three parts of, all the business at one time. I'm wondering, so first I'm going to say this, the way you describe it feels again very validating, very, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is a lot. I'm not crazy. This is hard, right? Because you see those gurus who are like, oh, you can build your business, $1 billion in a year and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hold on. This is
Mm.
actually a lot, for one or two people to do, or one person and a VA or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you are like definitely validating that. But I'm wondering at what point does someone reach out to you, you specifically in what you do? And then if there's like a lower level service that's a more introductory level service, like let me know and let our listeners know at what point do we need to have help for this kind of thing.
I'll tell you this. when you- I'm laughing because it's like what you find a lot of times with small businesses is people and rightly so, people hold their businesses close to their heart.
Mhm,
It's their blood, sweat, and tears that they've put in putting it together for however many years you've been in business. And it's hard to release
mhm,
your marketing to someone else and entrust your marketing to someone else because it's yours, it's your baby. They don't know me. They
mhm,
don't know everything that I've put into this. And it's a hard thing to do. It's almost like um you have to be ready
mhm,
to admit that I'm not great at this. I need to pass it on and give it to somebody who is great so that I can spend my time wisely. And
Mhm.
that's working on my business,
Mhm.
working on my lawn service, working on my uh financial planning
Mhm.
business, working on my bookkeeping business, whatever the business may be, you
Mhm.
spend time working on that because there's so many other things you got to worry about.
Mhm.
You got to worry about your books. You got to worry about is my business operating correctly? You know, you got to look at your numbers. You got to look at,
Right.
so many other things from an operational standpoint. Marketing is usually looked at as like, I'll put it on the side. It's not that important
Mm,
until you realize one day the clients aren't coming or the customers aren't
right.
coming. Then it's like, I need help and I need a quick fix and I need a band aid. And
Mm,
guess what? A marketing person is not going to be the band aid.
right.
They're going to be a part of the healing process to
Yeah.
get you there.
Yeah.
It takes time,
Yeah.
it takes consistency,
Mhm.
it takes, you ready for this? The P word, patience.
Mhm.
If you are not a patient business owner,
Mhm.
if you are not a patient business owner,
Mhm.
don't waste your time hiring a marketing person
Mhm.
because you're going to need to allow them time,
Mhm.
grace. You have to be patient with the process. You have to trust the process. And
Mhm.
if you, as a business owner, are not at the point in your business where you're willing to trust the process,
Mhm.
don't do it. Don't hire somebody. Continue to do your own business and to continue to do your own marketing and
Mhm.
suffer in
Yeah.
silence. But
Yeah.
that's when you know you're ready to hire someone else. When you, and let me back up a little bit more. Number two way that you know you're ready to hire somebody when you have all your ducks in a row. And what I mean by that is you have a solid foundation.
Mhm.
One of the things that if you go to my website, which is stayingpowermarketing.com,
Mhm.
the first thing you'll see on there, the thing that I harp most about is foundation. You
Mhm.
have to have a solid foundation. It's
Mhm.
just like when you're putting on your makeup in the morning.
Mhm.
I personally spend a lot of time working on washing my face,
Mhm.
moisturizing my face, the under the undertone stuff,
Mhm.
making
Right.
sure I have a nice um base
Mhm.
before I put on any makeup.
Mhm.
It allows me to be able to just use store brand
Mhm.
makeup, but I'll spend a whole lot of money
Mhm.
on getting me some moisturizer and spend a whole lot of money on getting a primer to
Mhm.
put on my face
Mhm.
that sets the tone and sets the foundation so that no matter what makeup I put on, it's
Mhm.
going to look great. It's going to
Mhm.
look flawless. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so foundational stuff is very important. And what I mean by foundational stuff in your business from a
Mhm.
marketing standpoint is you have to make sure that you do your market research, that
Mhm.
you know who your competitors are, that
Mhm.
you know who your target audience is, that
Mhm.
you do all the necessary things you need to do before you even start to do marketing. You need to know all this stuff. You
Mhm.
need to have are you at the point where you're ready to build a logo, have a logo? From a graphic design standpoint, you need to have all that thought of before you even build a website. So there's all these
Mhm.
foundational pieces. Do you have a website? Do you have somewhere where people can go and
Mhm.
you can, if you start marketing, you can direct them to your website? So you
Mhm.
need to be in a position where you have like
Mhm.
excuse me, where you have all these foundational pieces in place.
Mhm.
And if you don't, you can hire a marketing person like myself.
Mhm.
And if you don't work with me, you can work with any marketing person who specializes in strategic
Mhm.
marketing.
Mhm.
So start off from a strategic standpoint. What are your business goals?
Mhm.
And make sure that your marketing, a good marketer is going to make sure that your marketing goals are aligned with your business goals. So
Mhm.
you have your business goals first, and then your marketing goals should align with those goals.
Mhm.
Your business goals shouldn't be to, um, to um, generate $400 million a year. I'm just throwing a number out.
Mhm. Yeah.
And your marketing goals are only to generate $1 million a year. It's not.
Mhm.
They have to be in alignment. You have to sort of be on the same page.
Mhm.
Um, so that's very important. You just need to make sure the foundation is there. And I can't stress that enough, how
Mhm.
important the foundation is.
Mhm.
I typically I specialize, my company specializes in three things.
Mhm.
One is brand strategy, which
Mhm.
I just kind of talked about some of those things that are
Yeah.
very important. And I start every client off with the brand strategy stuff. So we talk about style guides, putting you style guides together. What style guides are, for anybody who doesn't know, is we determine what fonts do you
Mhm.
want to be associated with?
Mhm.
What colors do you want to be associated with?
Mhm.
Okay. And we are consistently using those colors and those fonts every
Mhm.
time somebody sees you. What
Mhm.
does your logo look like? And your logo should look the same every single time.
Mhm.
Shouldn't have different types of logos and different things. It needs to always be consistent.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you're not at a point in your business where you're ready to face the party with that,
Mhm.
you're not ready for real marketing. Okay.
Gotcha. Mhm.
And some people don't take that serious and don't believe in it.
Mhm.
Some businesses don't, because they have a hard time putting their head around the money for the cost of doing so, because they're thinking short term.
Mhm.
This leads me to yet another thing. They're thinking short term. They're
Mhm.
not thinking long term. Most businesses want the phone to ring now. I want my
Mhm.
phone to ring now. I'm spending all this money on marketing and doing this. I need the phone to ring now. I
Mhm.
need leads now. It's
Mhm.
not an overnight thing.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can't send one email out and think, I
Mhm.
marketed. I did marketing.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent with it.
Mhm.
So that is the point when you should bring in a marketing person, because it can be overwhelming.
Mhm.
As I mentioned earlier, very overwhelming.
Mhm.
And you have to have the right persons there who knows what buttons to push at the right time and know when to
Mhm.
pivot. Because
Mhm.
some avenues, there's, like I said, there's no perfect strategy or no perfect thing. You
Mhm.
have to work with different people to get a strategy going, to figure it out. It's like
Yeah.
a puzzle piece.
Yeah, I love that. And that's kind of going back to what you said about it's an art, it's not science. So there's a lot of
Right.
testing and measuring that happens.
Right.
You mentioned before that there were three things that you do when you work with a client. The first one was brand strategy. What were the other two?
Oh, brand strategy,
Mm-hmm.
website design is
Mm-hmm.
the other thing that we specialize in. I have a team of people that help me make beautiful websites. And I'll just share this with you and your listeners so you'll know. When you're doing websites, there's two components to a website.
Mm-hmm.
There's web design,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's web development.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I personally am great on the web design side.
Mm-hmm.
Web design is everything you see.
Mm-hmm.
It's the colors. It's reading the page. It's making sure the correct things are above the fold. Above
Mm-hmm.
the fold is what you first see when you get on the homepage of a website.
Mm-hmm.
It's making sure the user has a great experience when they're on your website.
Mm-hmm.
When they're clicking on certain things, is it taking them to the right place and leading them to what you want them to do?
Mm-hmm.
What's the call to action?
Mm-hmm.
Is your call to action on point? Are you telling people specifically what you want them to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are the colors right on the website? Do you have the right balance of pictures versus text? Do you
Mm-hmm.
have the right balance of white space on your website?
Mm-hmm.
Are your fonts in alignment? Are your colors in alignment? So do you think of it's everything aesthetically that
Mm-hmm.
you would think to find on a website?
Mm-hmm.
That's the web design piece.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the web development piece,
Mhm.
which is basically when my team comes into play. And
Mhm.
these are more tech people who usually don't like talking to people. They're just like,
Mhm.
tell me what you need me to do and I'll do it. So
Mhm.
I'm that person telling them what to do. I talk directly with my clients. I do not turn
Mhm.
my clients over to any of my tech people for them to talk to.
Mhm.
Um, but your web developer is going to do the coding,
Mm.
the making sure of everything that you don't see
Mhm.
when you're on a website. It's when somebody clicks on something, it's them putting in the proper programming and coding to make sure it does what it's supposed to do. So when
Mm.
they click on A, it sends them to B, and then
Mhm.
automation makes an email flash to the owner that says, you know, this person is on your website or whatever. They
Mhm.
make sure all the behind the scenes stuff works together.
Gotcha.
Okay. The
Mhm.
worst case scenario that you will find is when you have somebody who is great at building websites, but they're awful at web design.
Mm.
Hear that and hear that clearly.
Mhm.
They can build their butt off on a web page,
Mhm.
development part, programming out of this world,
Mhm.
but they're not a designer. They're
Mm.
not a web designer. So the page doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. And if
Mhm.
something doesn't look pleasing and
Mhm.
it's not clear, most times people say no.
Yeah.
Anytime something isn't clear or it's confusing or it's I don't know where to click, or you ever
Mhm.
went to a website and you're like,
Yeah.
this is just too hard. I can't do this. I'm
Yeah.
out. And you click
Yeah.
and you go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
That is a clear signal that that page did not have a professional web designer on it. They
Mhm.
could have had a great web developer, but not a
Mhm.
good web designer on it.
Yeah.
So that's number two. Brand strategy is number one.
Mhm.
Web design
Mhm.
is number two. So I do design websites, and I have a team of people who put all that together and we make it seamless for anybody so you guys can just sit back and we do the work. And
Mhm.
then part three is for the ultimate business owner.
Mhm.
Part three is fractional CMO services. And
Mhm.
what fractional CMO services is, CMO stands for Chief Marketing Officer.
Mhm.
Okay. And the word fractional essentially is meaning it allows you to have access, like on demand access,
Mhm.
to a marketing professional, marketing expert at a fraction of the price.
Mhm.
That's where fractional CMO comes in. So it's a relatively new term. It's probably I'm gonna say has been popularized within the last less than 10 years ago. Um,
Mhm.
and it's basically what happens is if you're running any type of business corporation, when they get ready to do a downsize, for
Mhm.
some reason, I don't know why, when companies get ready to do downsizing, they cut marketing people first.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know why.
Gosh.
They
Mm.
cut marketing people. And it's like, why would you do that? You know, they cut marketing people. So, um, what it allows you to do is what a lot of corporations decided to do was instead of having a full-time, because first of all, the reason they do it is you have to pay marketing people a lot of money.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, you get what you get, but you have to pay them a lot of money. But a fractional CMO allows you to have that same access on a part-time basis
Mhm.
for less money.
Mhm. That's brilliant.
Basically is what
Mm.
it is. So a
Yeah.
fractional CMO is going to make sure you stay on brand,
Mm.
on time, on budget. They
Mhm.
make sure they'll come in and work with your current staff if you want and
Mhm.
train them to do certain things from a marketing standpoint.
Mhm.
They'll build reports and work with your board of directors if you have one,
Mhm.
or work with you directly.
Mhm.
Um, do regular reporting for you. They make sure that all of your marketing is on point and stays on point. And this is the key to remember. The
Mhm.
brand strategy part is putting the plan together, the foundation.
Mhm.
The website is a part of that.
Mhm.
It's foundational. But the fractional CMO piece of it is
Mhm.
execution.
Yeah.
It makes sure that all those plans, the brand plans and strategic stuff that you put together is executed correctly.
Mhm.
That's where a fractional CMO comes in.
Yeah. That is super helpful for people who are growing and can't afford to have somebody on the team or on staff. It's nice to know that that's an option.
Hmm. And I want to add this too
Mhm.
from a another aspect of some of the things that we do is we take come in and we take over social media
Mhm.
for companies. We come in or manage their social media. We
Mhm.
come in and we handle their email marketing. Email marketing is hard too. It's not easy. And
Yeah.
some people like, oh, email doesn't work. Email works. You just
Mhm.
have to be consistent.
Yeah.
If you're doing social media, there's
Mm.
no way in the world you should be on 10 platforms. You
Mhm.
shouldn't be everywhere. You can't be everywhere.
Mhm.
Pick one. I'm going to say even two at the most social media platforms
Mhm.
and be good at those.
Yeah.
Be consistent with those,
Mhm.
whatever your consistency may be. If your
Mhm.
consistency is posting 3 days, I'm sorry, 3 times a day, every single day, you
Mhm.
post 3 times a day, every single day. If your consistency is posting 1 day a week, because
Mhm.
that's all you have the time and the energy and the resources for,
Mhm.
so be it. You post 1 day a week, make
Mhm.
sure it's consistent every week, make sure it gets done
Mhm.
on that platform.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's very, very, very important. And then, b- blog posts,
Mhm.
blog content.
Mhm.
CMOs are great for that, for writing press release. CMOs are great for that. Business owners don't have time for that.
Mhm.
You're busy running your business and trying to make sure you handle the day to day stuff.
Mhm.
Let your marketer, let somebody else come in, be your advocate. Most
Mhm.
CMOs are your best friend, total advocate of your brand. They
Mhm.
protect your brand.
Mhm.
They're always looking out for you.
Mhm.
A good CMO is always looking out for you. Is always going to have your back.
Mhm.
So, and to make sure
Wow.
your messaging is on point. To make sure your message is on point.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, this is why it feels like a lot because it is a lot. It
It
is a
is.
lot. And it's
It
like,
is.
I just want to encourage the listeners, encourage people out there who are doing this on their own. Like you said, there's so many great points that you gave. Keep going. Just keep going, doing the best that you can until you can hire your fractional CMO. And I
Yes.
hope that they are able to reach out to you. Some people are already at that point. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
everything, and it's like they just
Mm-hmm.
don't know that there's a possibility that someone can take this piece and help them with it. Maybe they
Mm-hmm.
have, a VA or a couple of them that are doing that and they're directing them, or they can actually have your company direct the team and be more
Mm-hmm.
effective at that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'll
love
share
it.
this example with you. I have a client. They opened up shop 2 years ago,
Mhm,
3 years ago. They opened up shop 3 years ago.
mhm,
Um, they are a CNA training school,
mhm,
and for the first year and a half, they never had one student.
mm,
And they were trying to do their own marketing. They were like, I'm trying, still don't have a student.
mm,
So finally, it was a referral. They came to me as a referral from somebody. They contacted me, and I answered the phone, and we started chit chatting and talking. And that's usually how I like to do with my clients. We get on the phone and have a good conversation. I want to know everything about your business and what you do and what are
mhm,
your pain points, and understand your pain points so that
mhm,
I can address them and find solutions for you.
mhm,
But I worked with her, sat her down. We went through everything. I put a proposal together for her. And I thought in my I thought to myself, I didn't know if she was quite ready for the proposal because it was a lot. Like, I hit her with the whole brand strategy thing. She
Mhm,
already had a website, I'll give her that. She had a beautiful website. So
mhm,
somebody spent some time, on her website. It
mhm,
just needed to be tweaked a little bit. So
mhm,
from my web design, I was all over that. I was like, "Oh,
mhm.
this is great, but we need to do this. We need to change that."
Uh-huh.
And then I hit her with the website, and then I talked to her about the fractional CMO services. She was really sold on that. She really liked the idea and was like,
Mhm.
"That's what I need." Like, it was like she had an aha moment, like,
Ah,
"Oh," like, "Oh
ah.
my God, this is what I need to do." So I'm sharing this with you because I mentioned this earlier and it's very important.
Mhm,
She trusted the process.
mhm,
I gave her advance notice and warning and told her about being patient.
mhm,
Explain to her what to expect.
mhm.
Explain to her it's not a one-time deal. You have to be patient with it and
Yeah.
consistent. It took her 4 months
Mhm.
and she got her first student and she was
Wow.
elated.
Uh-huh.
So it took 4 months for us to
Uh-huh.
get there,
Yeah,
but we got there.
that's so
And
good.
every month she consistently has filled up her class with
Nice.
students.
Nice.
Consistently. And she stays with the program, and she's still I'm still her fractional CMO and
Nice.
still work with her on a regular basis.
I love that.
So that's how
Yeah.
it should work for everybody. Do
Yeah.
not let somebody come in and sell you on paid advertisement.
Yeah.
Start with the foundational stuff, which is really organic strategies. We didn't even
Mhm.
touch that and even go there for
Yeah,
me
we'll
to
have to
explain.
talk. Yeah, we gotta talk
Yeah,
again because yeah, you have
yeah,
so much a
yeah.
wealth of knowledge for people. Yeah, because we didn't even really go into organic versus paid. You know what
Hmm.
we need? We need you to have a podcast, ma'am. That's what we need. We need you to go on ahead and start having these conversations where we can listen to them while we're walking because I think just the way there's just something so comforting about you anyway as a person. Like
Aw.
yeah, you're very nurturing and just and it's not punitive. It's not you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you need to do this. It's like gently let me help you because this is my area of expertise. I was born to do it. I know that you're not, this is not your area of expertise, and I can come alongside you and help you. And I think that goes a long way for especially at this point where I see so many entrepreneurs who are giving up and quitting, going back to
Yes.
work and that kind of thing, just because it's harder than um, we thought it would be,
Mhm.
and it takes longer than we thought it would take. And just the idea of like, hey, hang in there, and also I'm going to say this. So in my program right now, we're doing a 30-day challenge, and that's my favorite way of getting our material across because I think when people put their hands in the clay and do a 30-day challenge, they really learn things about themselves more than if we were just coaching through certain
Mhm.
things. And so
Mhm.
with our 30-day challenge, we're focusing on money blocks. And that's one of the money blocks is when you're trying to do everything yourself and you're not asking for help, you get to a ceiling of what you're capable of doing. And when I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about all the people who they're right on that edge where they can move to the next level, but they're stuck because they don't even know that there's someone who can actually help them get to the next level by taking something off their plate that they've reached. You've done all you can do in this area with your marketing and what
Mhm.
you've been posting. Like you've done all you can do. You've come to the
Mhm.
end of yourself or the end of your VA or whatever. And now it's time to have somebody that's an expert come alongside and help you. So I'm hoping
Mhm.
that this episode helps people realize that, like, oh, wait, there's someone who can help me. It's not super terribly expensive. It's not gonna, be like you said, you have to be willing to turn over that part of your business to someone. It's not going to be that you just completely lose control. You still get to talk to Staci. She's still going to help you and learn about your business to the point where she can be your advocate. So I'm hoping that people are hearing this message because this is this can be completely game changing, for
Yes.
someone who's ready to move to that level. So I love it. I
Yes.
really appreciate your time today. I don't want to go over time with you because we had a little delay here, but I really appreciate your time, your expertise, your energy, your heart. Like, I love it all. And I feel so blessed to have met you and to like be building this relationship with you. And to introduce you to my people. I want them all to get in contact with you. So on that note, can you tell us how people can connect with you?
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, I told you my website. Again, it's www.stayingpowermarketing.com.
Mhm.
So it's the name of my company. My email is Stacy with an I, Staci at stayingpowermarketing.com.
Mhm.
You can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You can look up Staying Power Marketing, or you can reach me. My personal LinkedIn is Staci Hazeur, Hazeur.
Mhm.
And those are probably the best ways to reach me.
Okay. And I'm gonna
I
put
would
all this. I'm gonna put all this in the description with the links, so they'll be able to
very
click
good. I
on it and
appreciate
get to
that.
you. Yeah, because this is powerful conversation, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is, you want your business to blow up. Here we are. So I'm excited to share this with everyone. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear, for having me. It's been
You're
my
quite
pleasure.
welcome. You're quite welcome. All right, guys. So until next time, I will see you later. Bye bye.